Peace and love, everyone. Peace and love. It is your girl, your host, your birth and doula, your herbalist, your psalmist, and so much more. Your sister, Cynthia J. Welcome to the Cynthia J podcast show. Hit that like button and share. Hit that like button and share. Go ahead and make sure somebody is sharing this and is on here today with you. We're going to be going over some updates, what's been going on with some current events. We also going to be going on because this is still Black History Month, and we still going to be celebrating, even though we don't just celebrate just for a month. We celebrate Black history throughout the year because you'd be very amazed how many people do not know some hidden secrets and hidden history in the past and present of so many amazing inventors from past lives and who are currently here in the world today. So go ahead and share, hit that like button and share. For those who are not on my YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to Cynthia J 22. That's on YouTube, Cynthia J 22. Make sure you put that slash when you type in youtube.com/ Cynthia J 22. If you on TikTok or Instagram or even on still YouTube itself, you can go ahead and hit in my bio link. You'll see Linktree, and it will have all of my links attached there. So I'm excited today. I missed you guys. Welcome again to the Cynthia J Show. I'm your co-host, your psalmist, your birth and doula, your inspirational and spiritual healer and herbalist, and so much more. For those who do not know me, welcome, fam. Hit that like button, give your sister some hearts, show some love as I give you some love out there. I hope everyone, actually, I hope, I know you had an amazing week. Even if it didn't seem like you had a good week, just know that you are still here and that you pressed through and that you had a time where you said, okay, I wanted to give up, but I'm still here. You're still breathing, you're still alive, you're still moving, you're still walking, you're still talking. Despite of all the crazy things that's going out here in the world today, we are still here. We are still here because you'd be very amazed. Not a lot of people are alive today. I'm telling y'all guys. So much has been going on, like seriously. So much has been going on since the month of February that it has been ridiculously crazy. When I tell you ridiculously crazy in the month. I definitely personally had some encounters myself within this month being in Black History Month, especially with my daughter. I had some encounters of racism with her, with some of her peers. And one of these days, I'm gonna get my daughter to come up here and share with you her personal experience. Sometimes, people don't believe that these things occur, and they do. They don't just occur just in one state, in one county, in one city. It occurs nationally and internationally, globally. Even again, like I said, even in your backyard, even in the schools and your workplaces, wherever you may be, it occurs. And since Black History Month has started, once we got into the month of February, how many of you guys had saw, like you saw me post last week about how they turned around somebody we don't know so far. I try to look up the updates with that with um what Jackie Robinson statue. For those who have heard, remember last week it was talked about, and the week before that, that his statue had been vandalized and burned and destroyed. So if you guys haven't seen it on the news, some of you guys who still watching the news on TV, it had occurred. Some of you that don't watch news on TV and who are on social medias, it happened. They're still under investigation with that. So with that being said, please keep an eye out on these things. Not just Jackie Robinson stuff, even Brother Tariq Nasheed, who is out there in California, his items, consistently are always being vandalized at the Hidden Museum. For those who don't know where the Hidden Museum is, it is in LA, in California, one of the places that our amazing brother that I have not got a chance to go out there. So hopefully one of these days I would get a chance to go out there with my husband, which I would truly be excited about. I see amazing elders who are definitely getting credit. Those who have actually watched the Hidden Colors. If you have not watched Hidden Colors Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, all the way to 5, please do. You can definitely watch some of that on Kiwale. Get that app, pay for it. Some of his things are on there. You can also reach out to his platform on Instagram, which, by the way, I have his hidden museum linked in my bio. So you can click on that and we'll still put up his information pertaining to his hidden color video documentaries, butt breaking, and so much more. And also check out my one of my brothers who are on Instagram, Sin the God. His son has his own official book, and it's amazing. Like, go support brothers and sisters, young generation. The young generation are out here really doing it for Black History Month, writing their own books, creating their own crafts of inventions, and so many other things. Like, my mind is so amazed and my spirit is so felt to see, what our young generation is doing, because they have good, amazing elders, they have amazing parents, they have those beyond the word mentor, but guidance and those who support and have their back. So please get up there and support your young generation. There are some that are out there, they're not caught up in the streets and caught up in, unnecessary things that is stopping them from being who they were crafted and created to be. So we got to help each other, especially our young youth, to craft their gift. Some of us never had nobody to help craft our gift. So if you're out there, go out there and allow them to help craft their gift. Like, seriously, guys, I am so proud of my young youth. I really am. And that's one of the things that my daughter is doing. So I'm helping her with crafting her gift. She has something. So definitely keep a lookout for it during the summertime. I'm very proud of her. Like, seriously, I'm very proud of her. Her writing her own, story, her own crafting gift. And so with that being said, get out there again and support. For those who don't know, those who do know, Snoop Dogg and Master P had their own cereal, right? How many of you guys know that? Give me thumbs up and hit that like button. Master P and Snoop Dogg came together, collab with their own, with the Snoop cereal, right? Walmart had been keeping the items in the back and had not been displaying their product. So now Walmart is being sued. It is stated that Snoop Dogg accused Walmart and accused them of sabotaging their cereal brands, not giving them an opportunity to go out here. So again, you see how this is going on, right? You see what has happened. Peace and love, blessings to my sister. I see you, sister. Peace and love, blessing to you, beautiful too. Peace and love to Black Love. I see you on there, and to all those who on TikTok. And go ahead and hit that like button and share, subscribe, follow, and support your sister. Share this with the younger generation because they definitely need that too. But again, back to Snoop Dogg and Master P, we have to be held accountable too by making sure that if we don't get out here and let people know that, you know, good, good. That's good to hear. Thank you, sister. One of our sisters just let us know that the product is back, which is good. But in some other places in Walmart, they were still holding the Snoop Dogg and their product back. But the thing is that, regardless of you putting it back up there, you have allowed them to lose, revenue. They already had a time and a place and a schedule to set to put their products out there. So with that being said, you're holding back their products, showing that, okay, well, we're gonna put these other brands out here. We're not gonna let them know that this is back here so we can play around. No, money was lost in that. Money was lost. So with that being said, make sure you guys go out here, support our brother's brand. I'm not saying to eat that stuff all the time, but again, support our brothers' brands and their products, because I know they should have something healthy in there and nothing that will sabotage, health, especially for those who enjoy it. Hey, I see you, love. The guy with the blue beard. I know who you are. I see you, brother. How you been? I miss you. But yeah, with that being said, definitely go out there and make sure you support those amazing brothers with these products, because again, it's a lot that's going out here. Also, just to give y'all guys some updates. Yes. I apologize, guys. Let me read this. I remember when they came out with the cereal, I wonder why I wasn't seeing their brand in the stores. Yes, that's true. But I'm going to move on to this next thing because I don't want to keep everybody up here too long tonight. But yes, for those who don't know, please, again, continue to support Flint residents. Right now, Flint residents have been awarded $1,500 payments in water poisoning costs because the company denies any wrongdoing. Our brothers and sisters in Detroit are still going through. for those who do not know, which goes to show the stuff that is going on right now. How is it that we are still having issues supporting brothers and sisters in Flint? Not saying it's necessarily, us doing it, but for those who are, I applaud you. Doesn't matter if it's small or little, because I know we're all going through financially. Please go out there and support your brothers and sisters who are still having issues with the water crisis out there in Flint. That doesn't make any sense that we should be having that issue. Same thing that's going on in Mississippi. There should be no reason why we should still have this issue in America, guys. In America. How is it that we have those who are crossing the borders? And this is no offense. I'm not trying to throw no lashes, but I have to speak the truth. As it says, speak the truth and the truth will set you free. That we're having others come across the borders illegally has not been, just like any other, individual who come across from other countries who go ahead and put their information in to get their visas and stuff like that to come over here. They're crossing the borders and they're allowing them to, and they're helping them. Which, by the way, I know you guys heard on the news. For those who heard it on the news, for those who have heard on social media, on all platforms, whichever way, shape, or form you heard it, why are in New York City, they are giving them credit cards to help fund them, to help them. You heard me say last week in other parts of other states that recreation centers have been closed down to house those who have crossed the border. Yes, those who had crossed the border. Now we have an issue with airports carrying, airborne bacterial infections and all kinds of stuff. I know you guys probably been receiving the emergency warnings of what's going on by the FDA and everything else. And it's kind of funny how we have this issue now going on in the airports. I wonder why. Because you have those who are not even citizen here, work their way all the way over here, and all of a sudden they are being transported from one state to another, and now they're housing at recreational centers that are used for our children, not just our children, the community residents, to help them strive for success, to help them get out of their situation, not just regular residents, residents who are past veterans, residents who, once were on boards. I come across those two who are on boards, and now they are in financial situations. And all of a sudden, you're giving outsiders who we still, we don't have no hate towards anyone, but we got to take care of home first. Look what's going on around us, which is sad. So needless to say, that's what's been going on, everyone. For those who don't know, they have been turning around, supporting, giving them credit cards. I'm still trying to figure out, how are you able to get a credit card when people like us are filling out credit cards, trying to get approved? Bad credit, good credit. Good credit people get it, but how are others receiving credit cards? Those are the words that they're stating, credit cards. So please make sure and make sure, because this is also coming from residents. I came across a resident, and I'm gonna read this article part real quick for you, but this is something to hear. It's happening in New York, upstate New York, Boston, multiple towns in Massachusetts, Chicago, LA, and more urban cities, and the space only. This is coming from an elder, and this is from a sister, a Dream Life. She's on Instagram, so if you guys hit her up, look on a Dream Life on Instagram. She posted this, and she said, "Happy Black History Month." This goes to show you that all of this is happening in the month of Black History. She said, "Just ignore it, since mass news media is not exploring this narrative. We only jump when we say jump." And I love how she kind of said that a little bit, but this goes to show, like, this elder, she's speaking out. She did a recording, and she said, at the end of the day, how is migrants getting credit cards? Those were her words. How are migrants getting credit cards? And they just came across the border. What's the agenda? What's the agenda? Everything is happening right now, Black History Month, brothers and sisters, and everyone else who across the nations. We all should be fair and love one another in a way we should, right? But we can't help everybody else if we can't help here first. Every day when I leave home, I see people on the corner, and majority of them is United States of American citizens born and raised here who are struggling. 3 weeks ago, I seen a mass pileup line coming into my neighborhood just to go to the fire station. People, it was all walks of life. Didn't matter if you black or white or whatever, they were there, lined up just to get food, just to get some help. So that goes to show you right there the things that are going on that is crazy. That these are people who born grassroots here for good and have strived for the betterment. And we can't help ourselves yet here. And we giving credit cards, which is your money, my money, that sweat, blood, and tears that you've been pulling from work to help everyone else. And we can't even help in our own backyard fully. Come on. What are we going to do about that? How are we going to go about this? How are we going to overcome these things? Instead, we're entertaining the outside things that should not be going on. There's an agenda behind all of it. I know you're like, okay, we hear this all the time. I'm sorry to say it, brothers and sisters. Yet it's sad. This is what we're hearing. This is what we're going through. This is what we're experiencing. I've come across brothers and sisters at the homeless shelters who have tried their best to file for, food stamps and all these other things. And they are told that they're getting this long list of all their information. It's like some of the information is so private that they shouldn't even need to know. Like seriously, very private. And it's like you're forcing their hand. But yet, those who don't get their hand forced, they just came over here, slept at the airport, crossing the border, getting credit cards. Come on. It's crazy. It's crazy. Another updated news or event news. This is a mother, a Caucasian woman who adopted a Black son, is now suing this police department for injuring her son. I'm going to read this, and this is something that happened back in 2021 and is still continuing. So there was a little bit of update on this. So at the end of the day, this is also a teachable lesson. A white Vermont mother is suing the city of Binghamton, Vermont, after she says police used excessive force and sedated her 14-year-old adopted son after she called the police on him. The mother says she called law enforcement to come teach her son a lesson. Did y'all hear that? Come to teach your son a lesson. I'm going to share this with some of the adopted Caucasian mothers out there. Please, when you have a Black son, you are causing danger. You are causing danger. I'm going to leave it at that, and you know where I'm coming from. Also, it came when the police arrived, they asked the unnamed teen to hand over the vape. They would leave. According to the police, he refused. Apparently, this is over vapes. Officer proceeds to handcuff him. What happens next is bias for a lawsuit, allegedly racial discrimination, use of excessive force against her son. They have the body cams on this, and they named the police officers. They had police officer including Kesley Johnson, Sergio Cordero, and later Sergeant Michael Henry physically forced the 230-pound teen to the ground as he screamed. Police claims the teens lunged at them after they forced the vape out of his hand. This is what was said. According now, after all of this happened, they wrapped the teen after EMT got there, head with a split hood, and injected him with ketamine before taking him to the hospital unconscious. You see all of this, what occurred? All from a phone call? You expect to teach your child a lesson. Yet the force caused the injury to this child, a young black male, teenager. Come on, come on. We should know better. We should know better. Now, as parents, especially black families, you know we don't feel comfortable with police. We really don't. They will be last resort before we even go that route. And even then, for some of us, we probably won't even go that route because the times we live in right now are dangerous. There was also another incident where a brother this one was good. This was on African Deport News. For those who don't follow African Deport News. You can definitely find them on YouTube. You can find them on Instagram. Amazing brothers and sisters. I love listening to from them. Brother Phillips. He has his own podcast show. And for those who don't know, Vicky Dillard, definitely follow her. They are on African Deport. In this situation, an officer, after being asked for ID while waiting for an Uber. So these brothers were outside waiting for an Uber. Officer approached them. They were at an area where it was very lit. Sad to say, they were already being profiled. The brothers end up roasting. For those who don't know what roasting is, that means the brothers went in on them, fed them their own information that they were unaware of. After he asked them for an ID, why they waiting on an Uber? If I'm waiting on an Uber driver, and I tell you I'm waiting on an Uber driver, why do I need to show my ID? Did I do anything criminally around the environment? Did I start an issue? I mean, come on. This is serious, guys. This is serious. Let's get it together. This is serious. This goes to show you a lot of events that are going on. Last but not least, and then I'm going to go into a couple of Black history information that will amaze you. So, for those who don't know, in other areas like China, Japan, and those areas, for those who do know, are using, and I'm not trying to gross you guys out, are using sewage manures from humans to create meat. They found a way to process it. They're trying to say the stuff that's in it has carried a certain protein enzyme and makes it where it can revert and take out the bacteria and revert it to meat. Be careful what you eat. For those who do not decide to change their eating habits, for those who do not want to change, period, and love what they do, and for those who do want to change, please be mindful of what you are eating. That same thing goes to me. Be mindful what you are eating. Be mindful of what you're eating when you go out to these restaurants. Be mindful of what you're eating when you go and decide to say, hey, I'm going to go to Walmart. For those who are going to Walmart to go get their meats, think again. For those who are going to other stores, big corporation stores, besides Walmart, please think again. Me personally, I'm just one of the people, I really don't mess with meat. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm a complete vegan or nothing like that. I might cheat on a piece of chicken once in a while or a piece of fish. I don't even mess with that barely. But I will tell you, I have not had meat like red meat and stuff in 15, 16 years. Same thing with pork. Haven't had it. So with that being said, please be mindful of what you're eating. Yeah, you are the sole provider of your household. If you have children and a family, be mindful of what you're eating, brothers and sisters. This is a serious matter. Be mindful because the things that are going on out here, what they doing with the food is getting scarce. It's getting scarce because, other countries were helping and providing with us. Now they have backed out. China was another provider, but they have backed out. Not all our products are from China, but it's going to show you that food is becoming a very big scarce, which, by the way, we need to be growing our own products. We need to be having our own farm. If you're going to have your own farm animals, that's fine. Again, I don't condone a lot of other things, but I know for me, I do every year about round coming at the end of March, beginning of April, prepare myself to start my agriculture farming like a garden. I make sure I start to get that together. I have cucumbers, I've done kale, I've done tomatoes, I've done 1 year strawberries. I did another year when I had green peppers and red peppers, which was amazing. I loved them so much. I was plucking them off the thing, just wiping them and eating them. I mean, there was a big difference in the way that I did. I didn't use the city water because again, you got to be careful. The chemicals from whatever is going in there. I made sure that it came from either rainwater. I was still putting a bottle that was spray on it, where it left out a good force, where I would not have to use, the water from the hose or anything like that. I also made sure the soil was very rich in minerals with natural soil that has not been having any biodegradable type of source that is from humans, from animals, any of that. Like it's nature's best soil. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was really refreshing. I could tell a difference. Because I remember 1 year, one of my neighbors, they said their neighbor had cucumbers growing over their fence. So they grabbing the cucumbers look amazing, right? And then I asked them and I said, well, where did the cucumbers come from? They said their neighbors, and their neighbors were Asian. So we're standing there and I go ahead and clean off the cucumber and peel it and slice the top off first and then slice one piece and I bit into it and I spit it out. And he was like, what? And I said, this tastes like it has a chemical in it. It don't taste right. So that goes to show you don't know what they're spraying on their items. And so he was like, let me taste. And I sliced the piece and he ate it. He was like, oh, heck no. I was like, yeah, it doesn't taste like what I grew up eating. My grandparents had a farm. So we knew what we were eating and what it tastes like, with that being said. So definitely be careful with that. So with all that other news going on there, be careful of people. Again, it's getting close to April. You're going to see a lot of issues going on with a lot more of racism and discrimination. It's going to get crazy. For you guys, everybody's saying, okay, COVID is real, all this other stuff. I get it, but make sure that you take care of yourself. I've had people say, oh, I got COVID and I'm sick. Everybody else said, well, why you ain't get sick and you've been around people? You want to know why? Because I do my herbs, I squeeze, I do my bitters. Ooh, that's good. And I make sure I juice and I mix them all together. That helps. Eat 1 meal a day. And I don't eat heavy and I don't eat dairy, all that other stuff. But that's just me. Can't speak for everybody else. But with that being said, just be mindful of what's going on out here. They still, again, there is another pushback on another new COVID. They trying to say all this other crazy stuff. But I'm not gonna go too deep in all that. That stuff just unnecessary. But anyway, here goes a Black History tribute. This one dealing with the first Black American architect to graduate from MIT. This individual, also the country's first academically trained Black architect, his name was Robert R. Taylor, was truly a groundbreaking. Robert R. Taylor, for those who do not know who that is, he was born in North Carolina in 1868. He learned carpentry and construction from his father. Woo! Y'all hear that? Carpentry and construction from who? His father. For those parents out here who do not have their kids in some type of trade school, please do so. Put them in a trade school. That is the conversation that I've also had recently. You hear it a lot. You're starting hearing a lot more now on a lot of other podcasts. I'll use Brother Killer Mike, whoop, whoop, represent for those who don't know who Killer Mike is. He is a hip hop artist slash, some people say rapper. One of the greatest brothers. He also has his own acres of land. He also has his own agriculture on these lands out there down south. Amazing area. He is really on point. He is also an advocate. He travels around. He's not only give guidance and knowledge, but he gives kindly reminders on how important it is to learn agriculture, to learn and remind you, just like any other brother and sister out here, to do trades and stuff. And that is something that some of us grew up in. I'm one of them. I went to a trade school. Not only did I learn cosmetology and hair, I also went to trade school for cooking as well. I've seen it where others that I were around to this day, they still do masonry. Building your own house with masonry. Do you know that masonry bricklaying is a moneymaker? Plumbing. Do not see enough brothers out here teaching with plumbing. Very, very important. Very, very important. So get out there and teach, train, and then push your children to go out there to do these things. Please. It is so important. So important. So, with that being said, go ahead and do that so that the children know culinary arts, teaching how to bake, teaching how to saute and cook and learn all these different foods. It's cooking is not just cooking, it's a craft, it's an art, just like music. They all combine in each other. It's a complete of science, everything. So let's do this. It's very important. It's very important because it leaves not only a great foundation, it gives encouragement. It also gives children a drive to teach them, especially young girls. They need to know how to do their hair. I mean, I applaud my sister with all the lace wigs and stuff, but we also need to know how to do our hair naturally. And yes, by the way, this for those who don't know, this is my hair. It is locked. I normally don't have it down, but today I just say, you know what? I'm gonna let you see more of your sister today. But let me go back to reading this article. So Robert E. Taylor was truly a groundbreaker. Born in North Carolina in 1868, he learned carpentry, construction from his father. He was a former slave and worked as construction foreman before enrolling in MIT. After graduating in 1892, he was recruited by Booker T. Washington. Woo! For those who don't know who that individual is, I love the stories, and I read so many books on Booker T. Washington, which by the way, one of the high schools right across the street from one of my alumni school that I graduated from, at basically all black school, Norfolk State University in the house, Spartan. Woo woo. Behold the green and gold. Right across the street from NSU is Booker T. Washington High School. I see a lot of the kids go out there and make sure they promote a lot. So it's good to hear that Booker T. Washington definitely recruited this young man. So they recruited him right here to the Tuskegee, let me see, Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, where he spent nearly 4 decades. There, he was an influential educator, developing the architecture and construct trade programs, inspiring countless students. He also designed and built a number of campus structure, including libraries, resident halls, administration buildings, academic centers, and dining facilities. Do y'all hear that? That is amazing. That is amazing. Like seriously, that is amazing. Woo, woo. That got me on fire right now. In 1899, Taylor designed the oaks of Booker T. Washington's home and Tuskegee Institute Social Center, which offer employment services and on-the-job training for students. He considered the Tuskegee Chapel a brick stone worship space that burned down in 1957, his masterpiece. Y'all hear that? His masterpiece. Many of his buildings still stand today. Y'all hear that? That's amazing. Many of his buildings still stand today. Still stand today. And a lot of us don't even know this. That's why it's so important that as we are listening and going across this month, don't let this month just be about Black History Month alone. Don't we always hear this. We always hear this from other brothers and sisters out here that constantly say it. But are we really going out here and promoting this thing? Are we really pushing it? Are we really saying to our children, hey, I need for you to pick this book up and read this? Even for ourselves. I remember growing up and my grandmother, and I would go to the restroom, and my grandma had this big ebony encyclopedia book, hardback. It wasn't like a regular flimsy magazine as we learned it later to be. And in that ebony magazine encyclopedia book were amazing people that I read about. Philip Randolph. Everybody know about him helping Martin Luther King. That's why I learned about E.D. Du Bois before I even went off to college, because in public schools, they don't really teach you this stuff. All you hear about, like you heard me say before, is Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, depending on, where your community at in the schools and whatever else. That's all you hear. That's all that's going on. So it's very important that we let our children learn and see the faces of these individuals by taking them to the library, getting a list. Even if you go on Google or incognito and look these things up and just say, you know what, me and you are going to go look this up together. Go to the library, learn something new together as a family. You'd be amazed. You'd be so amazed what you'll find out. And it's there. It's just that we just been be conditioned to think that that's all we can do. It's limited. Instead of reminding us that we have a mind that could be growing unlimited. And that's the thing. So with that being said, make sure you are not just alone holding this information to yourself, but you're sharing it with your family. So last but not least, here's another one. The first all-black female flight crew. How many people knew about this? The first U.S. airline flight staff by an all-black American female flight crew comprised of Captain Rochelle Jones, who was the first officer, Stephanie Grant, and flight attendant Donna Holloway and Robert Rogers. Some thought that this was just a stunt, and some was even refused to board the plane because of an all-black American female crew. Think about that. History. Bam. Some individuals do not like that you can accomplish and do more beyond your expectations. They don't like that. They don't like it. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know the truth. How can other people learn with you? How can other people grow from what they know if they don't learn, if they don't know? As it says for those who read the Bible and those who in other, biblical, even the Quran and other places. But in the Bible it says, my people perish by the lack of knowledge. We lack knowledge because we know nothing. We know not. Because we get stuck in one place. We don't discern or use the gifts that's given to us to go outside beyond one thing. And it's so important. When I see younger children and I come across some young kids that can know 5 languages, and if I could go back in time when my mind was a sponge, I'll be up there learning them too. 5 languages. Come on now. I will be up there too. That goes to show. We need to study and gain knowledge for the betterment, not just of ourselves, but our future with our children, from the past, the present, and the current. So with that being said, my brothers and sisters, get out there. Get out there. Show yourself to be a person who is humble enough to learn, to study, to take in wisdom. It's something out there that will help you and I for whatever we are trying to know more about our purpose, to help us to elevate, take us to another dimension. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be struggles, but we think that we are the only ones by ourselves that had challenges. When I sit and think about today, how hard it is, how I am seeing history repeat itself, I put myself in the place of my ancestors, how it was with them, being persecuted, being raped, being beaten, sodomized, having inventions you create, and then to turn around, taking for credit for someone else that took your inventions for their own purpose, for their own credit. especially those who could read and write and design and actually put their hands, the power of their hands in it. But thank God that some brothers and sisters who were seeing that some of those who were stealing patents from them had the evidence of their work and kept fighting. They didn't care how many times they had to go in the court. They kept fighting and they never stopped until the victory was won. So I say to you, we keep fighting until the victories are won, because the legacies, the information, the stories of your ancestors who worked hard, that was pure, who did what they were supposed to do, kept going until the victory was, still is to this day, is won. I share that with you as I say to myself, because I even needed to hear that. I need to read these things. And it's very important that we put that in our children. As I tell my princess all the time, and she comes home upset about some things, I say to her, you know, some people, they know not what they do. And some do. And they choose to not desire to do better nor change, because they accepted who they are as that individual, as part of their character. So if they are a person who likes to set up people and sabotage and have an agenda, and they show you who they are, that is who they are. Now, I'm not saying you got to accept them, you tolerate it, but you don't have to put up with the stuff that they do. So it's very important that you go and you remind yourself that you know who you are and know the power that's in your hands, because the power of the Spirit within you will leave a legacy for others to grasp, to follow, to be influenced by, to be encouraged, and to be uplifted. So I share with you tonight, as I get ready to leave you, stay encouraged. Encourage me as I encourage you. Go out here, get in the community, show your face, show your support. Be there. Even, it doesn't matter if you're a single parent, no parent, doesn't matter if you're a godparent, aunties and uncles, participate with your nieces and your nephews. We have all this electronics and technology. Use it for the betterment. Use it for good influence, not for the wrong stuff. Because you notice the stuff that's not really for the best interest is being promoted more than the stuff that is supposed to be here to help, supposed to advance. The other things that should not be out here is being taught to the children. They think it's okay. Like I had to tell my young one, I said, come on, honey. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You think that's going to help just because somebody else do it doesn't mean you're supposed to do it. Just because somebody else do it does not mean that you're supposed to do that. And what I mean by that is the things that are not of positive influence, that does not give a high vibrational frequency, things that do not uplift your community nor uplift you. It just sends out more negative energy out there, more negative outlook to say this is the thing. Well, if this is the thing, does this thing help you? And that is what is being pushed out here. Those are the agendas that are being pushed out here. So if you're just sitting at home, sitting back with your remote control, talking about, they still doing this, times ain't never going to change. Let us not be like some of our other type of elders who sit back and say, them kids still act like that. Oh, Lord, it's getting worse. I don't know how I can be like. I hear that. And I sit there and I turn my head and I look at them just like this. And I said, okay, you're one of them ones. And I know y'all like, what do you mean by that? You're one of those ones. As I would hear some of the generation say, them old Negroes, them old folks. And that's what I would hear. And I didn't get it back then why they said it. But now I do. Do not be the one that sit back, just change your channel, just talk about it. Let us all be the ones that get up even if it's a little bit at a time. Be the ones to actually do something about it. Please. Like, seriously, this is enough where the children should not have to constantly continue with the same old things because we have not changed to try to help make a better place. I mean, hey, Michael Jackson said, we need to make this world a better place. And I sure do miss him because he told the truth. He exposed everything. He's another Black American of Black history. He has shown his accomplishment. He has exposed those also who tried to lower him down, take him out and lower him down. I know you like what they already took him out. Okay. But he stayed in the game for a long time before they did, didn't he? But he let us know. He let us know what was up. He let us know who to watch out for. He let us know why we are to be doing what we need to do. And it's very, 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 very important that we pay attention to all things that are going on out here. Because if not, we're going to be just like them. We're going to be sitting back, getting comfortable, continuing to do the things that we do, and wonder why we don't have the outcomes that we have. Wonder why we have not succeeded beyond the expectations as we should. Because we have put limits on ourselves. Limits. So with that being said, I'm not going to hold you guys up tonight, but I will let you know you guys keep an eye out in the month of April, which is 4/4/2024. I'll be coming out with my single album, I Put My Trust. This album single, well, let me rephrase, I'm sorry. This release single, not album, release single is very important. It's very necessary. It's very encouraging for me. It's not just my healing process, but it's a remembrance and a collaboration of love to someone who was very dear to me. For those who knew, my brother ascended last year. We are still trying to get things together and battle with that. Still keep me, my mother, my other brother, and my dad, my stepdad, and all of us in prayer. Keep us continually uplifted, please. It's not easy. And those who have lost loved ones, I send out my love, uplift, and send my prayers and manifestation to you that love and peace and healing will continue to be there for you, because it's true when they say it's not easy. It really is not easy to, deal with certain things you got to go through. However, it is very encouraging to stay encouraged because you have a purpose still here. That means that for those who life has already ascended tragically, or naturally, and they happen. It's a part of life. Death in life is just not one way as we think it to be or believe it to be. It's beyond more of our understanding, overstanding, and understanding. So, with that being said, make sure that for those who have lost loved ones, encourage them. Give them a phone call. Because it's true when they say, after you let a loved one be at peace, that the phone calls and the stop throughs, they start to slow down. And that's true. But I thank God for those, and you know who you are, and I love you. Always messaging me, checking in on me, checking in on my mom. You know who you are. And I just have to tell you, I love you. I thank you, for being there for us because it means so much to us, more than you know. And if I haven't said it enough, I'm saying it again and again. So I shout this out for those who still want to send some love or send something to my mother through me. Just know that I'm not doing anything prematurely with it. I give it directly to my mother because we're still paying off just a little bit of little certain things that pertain to the funeral arrangement. And so, with that being said, I am grateful. And I thank you guys for always keeping me in your heart. So, keep an eye out for that single. And I'm saluting that to my brother, Eric Jones Jr., in remembrance of him. on behalf of my nephew, his son, who I'm very proud of, that I love dearly. And I just want to say, continue to uplift and encourage those who are going through, because you never know who is going through something. For those who are going through any type of abuse, mentally and physically, please definitely check out one of my amazing sisters. She is out in Atlanta. I know I might have something that's not up to date, but sis, if you're up there, prophetess, definitely, send me your up to date information. I'll try my very best to get it out there and correct it. She is an amazing life coach. She is also there for those who have dealt with domestic violence and abuse. And I salute her. So if y'all are looking to be able to talk with someone, please look up Cornelia White. Her information on email is im.septemberwhite@gmail.com. im.septemberwhite@gmail.com. Please go out there and email her if you can. She would definitely guide you to the right people as much as she can, give you some resources, give you some information, help you have a way of an outlet with someone who will be able to talk with without feeling judged or feeling, any kind of way where you feel that you can't be yourself. So definitely hit her up at imseptemberwhite@gmail.com. I thank you guys for that. And also, again, I'm going to let you guys know your sister has been elected as an honoree for Black History Month at the First Baptist Church Ministry. I am so excited about that. It is definitely an honor and a privilege. For those who didn't know, I will be out there on February 24th. So if you in the big DMV in the VA, please come out. This location will be at a banquet hall. They're selling tickets. The tickets are $30 individually. If you want to be with the group of 8, it's about, if I'm not mistaken, about 100 to 200. I could be wrong, but I definitely double check. So you can reach out to any person. I will put that on my link in my bio, and I will also share it on my TikTok thing for those who are up there. So definitely, please come out and support. I am the first in my family to accomplish many things, and it's an honor, it's a privilege to have been nominated not once, not twice, but several times in this nation and internationally. What seems small to others, it is big. What seems small to others, it is big. So I am definitely honored. I Words cannot express. Definitely, I can tell you guys, words cannot express. Some people don't understand. It takes hard work. It does take very, very, very hard work. So with that being said, I won't hold you guys up too long. If y'all looking for a herbalist, hit your sister up. All my information is in a bio. If you're looking for a birthing doula, for those who don't know what a birthing doula, I am one myself and my sister, Tasha Perkins, Anderson Perkins. We are birthing doulas in birthing and postpartum. Even if you've already been in the hospital and you're coming out of the hospital and you need some help, we are definitely there. We are in the Northern Virginia area. We do support also for those who are looking in all parts in the DMV area. So we definitely excited about that. So please definitely come out, hit us up. All my information and that information with Birth and Doula is in the bio. So please make sure you get up there and you click on that link and you check that out. For Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doulas, we also do essential oils there. We give to you during your birthing process. We also give you spiritual counseling and counseling guidance. We also help you at home so that you will be able to have some type of rest. We don't you neglect the fathers. The fathers need help too. So with that being said, go ahead and hit us up. I am definitely excited still for us to doing and accomplish the things that we're doing. So definitely check us out at Healing Hearts, Tailor-Made Doula. Don't be ashamed. You know you're not alone. You're not by yourself. It's not easy. It doesn't matter if you're a first time parent or a current parent. Definitely, definitely, definitely come out, reach out to us. We are here. Last but not least, while you are preparing, again, if you need me, I'm open for the whole entire month to come out, do seminars, to also do other things as well. And I'm really excited about that. So if you're looking for someone to come sing at your weddings and other things or any event, hit up your sister, Cynthia J. Don't be a stranger. Hit me up. You can definitely reach me at my contact information is 571-470-5166, or you can email me at cynthiaj.gospel@gmail.com. Not only you heard me say I'm a psalmist, but I'm an inspirational healer, songwriter, influencer, birth and doula, herbalist, and much more. So don't sleep on your sister now. Just because I seem to do one thing doesn't mean I stop there. We all have multiple gifts. So make sure you take advantage of that and continue to be blessed. So I love you guys. I enjoyed y'all. Continue to enjoy your day. Continue to do what you do. We are up here holding each other accountable. This podcast is just not for women alone, holding us women accountable, but it's also for men, young teenagers, adults, women, whoever it may be. But it starts with the home because the woman is the birth of the nation. So, with that being said, I love you guys. Stay tuned for some more things. Be safe out there. Study some more for Black History Month and put that book in front of your child or movie. Let's all sit down and educate each other together because we don't know what each other need. So I salute y'all who are on TikTok. Thank you for joining me. Those who are on my YouTube, thank you for chiming in. I'm really excited. And I thank y'all guys for coming and supporting your sister. So I love you guys. Peace and love. And remember, don't forget about that album coming out. Don't forget about that album that's coming out. That single, actually, I keep saying album. I don't know why I keep saying that, but that single release, don't forget about it. Don't forget about it. Don't sleep on it. So you guys enjoy y'all night. Thank y'all for wherever y'all coming from across the nations in here. Thank you for supporting your girl, Cynthia J. Peace and love.
Story is for your glory. My story is for your glory.